What the Democratic leadership did when they passed the budget 2 years ago, when the president shut down the government and they reopened it, the Democratic leadership in that committee put language in there that ICE could not use any of that funding to investigate parents or sponsors or anybody in child's household. It was they put it in writing. And I said at the time, I said on 100 Fox News appearances, if this language stays in this bill, you're going to see UACs come across this country in unprecedented numbers, because we just sent a message. Go ahead, hire a criminal organization, smuggle your kid. We're not going to prosecute you for it, even though it's a felony. And guess what happened? I was right. Increase to 300%. And they want to sit there and attack me when I'm testifying about the terrible things I did. No, it's the terrible things you've done, but American people just don't know about it. So I'm going to tell the people about it, and that's why I wrote the damn book. Everybody says, why'd you write a book? I said, I wrote the book because, number one, you can't say what I need to say on a 6 or 7 minute Fox hit. I can't say it in Congress because they'll gavel me to death. And if you've got a gavel here tonight, I'll tell you the same thing I told her. I'm going to shut up. I won't go till I go. But Congress, testifying in front of Congress was done many times. It used to be about, let's bring experts in and identify a problem, and let's hear from the experts, and let's legislate a fix to make this country better. It's not like that anymore. It's about giving a title, a terrible name to the hearing, the atrocious conditions of ICE detention. We'll invite 9 Democrat witnesses, and we'll let the Republicans bring 1. And I kind of like that because they always call me. And they can't shut me up. Well, then they won't let you talk. They'll spend 5 minutes vilifying the men and women of ICE, vilifying the men and women of the Border Patrol, call them names, saying they run concentration camps, call me a bigot. Then when I go to respond, no, your time's up. Then I sat there for that one hearing. I listened to it over and over again until one guy made a mistake. One guy actually said I didn't care about dying children. And that's where I lost it. I didn't lose it. Yeah, I did. To that whole hearing, I listened to how they attacked the men and women of the Border Patrol. I listened to the false narrative they were pushing. I listened to the things they'd say about my president that were not factual. Then when the one congressman started talking about me not caring about dying children, as he said that, I reached over and pushed the button. Because at that moment, something went off in my head. It's okay, I had enough of this shit. So I let him have it. Because the reason I'm so emotional, people want to know, why you get so mad and so emotional on Fox? Why you get so mad and emotional in testimony? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you've seen what I've seen in 34 years, you'd be mad too. You'd be upset. When I was a Border Patrol agent, I don't know how many times you find a dead person on the trail. The smugglers just leave them on the trail. They get sick, they couldn't make the journey. They wouldn't call for help. You know why? Because the immigrant isn't worth anything anymore. He's dead. He's not going to get paid for that immigrant. He's dead. We had one father come up to, he actually turned himself in. He found a Border Patrol vehicle, came up and said that his daughter fell into a snake pit. The smuggler didn't help her. He said, must you keep going? You know, by the time we got to her, of course, she was dead of numerous snake bites. Think about that. Just leave him there to die in the middle of nowhere. I talk about the reason that one guy got me upset when he says, you ever held a dying child in his arm? He should have did his research, because I had many times. But when we first became ICE, I was in Dallas, Texas, giving a speech to international chiefs of police, and my phone went off, and it was the director at the time, and Garcia asked me to get on an airplane and get down to Victoria, Texas. There's a real bad smuggling incident there. And I was on detail in headquarters at the time, and they knew I spent most of my career on alien smuggling and human trafficking cases, so they sent me down there to run the investigation. So I hopped on an Air and Marine flight and went down there right away. I mean, with just the clothes on my back. I didn't even go back to the hotel and pack. And when the Texas Ranger walked me through the crime scene, now I grew up in a town of 2,500 people in upstate New York, right south of the Canadian border. 2,500 people, small town. The only dead body I've seen at that time was my grandmother in a casket. Now they take me to a crime scene where the Texas Ranger walks me through the crime scene, and I got 17 dead people at my feet that suffocated to death in the back of that tractor trailer. 19 died. 2 were already left, went to the hospital. They died on the way to the hospital. And it makes me angry because they didn't have to die. And when I stood in the back of the tractor trailer, what got me the most was a 5-year-old little boy that died in that back of the tractor trailer. I still remember he was wearing yellow underwear, and the heat had already affected him. And I told the photographer, the ICE photographer, I said, I want to take pictures of the whole crime scene. And I was pointing to where I wanted to take. I said, but leave the child alone. Don't take a picture of the child yet. Because I couldn't get down to do the measurement. I didn't want to get near him. Because I had a 5-year-old son at the time. So late, think about this for a minute. When you think about standing back with a tractor trailer where 17 people just suffocated to death, actually 19. It was dark, it was black, it was hot, there was no air, standing room only. People were dying on their feet. There was no room. They actually busted the brake lights out of the tractor trailer to try to get some attention of some people behind them. When the child died, several of the males wanted to tear the child apart and throw pieces out the window, hopefully draw attention. When we found him, the father actually had the child, it was over the child as a means of protecting his child. So when you want to know illegal immigration is not a victimless crime, what makes me angry when congressmen want to sit there and call me names is that you have failed the American people for at least 40 years of not fixing this border. We finally got a president that not only talked the talk like every other presidential candidate ever's done, he's walked the walk. Yeah. He's done his job. And you're going to sit there in this hearing in front of the American people, all these TV cameras, and say he's a terrible man, I'm a terrible man for enforcing the law. Meanwhile, you're sitting there on your high horse, you haven't done shit, and people are dying, women are being raped. So don't sit there and tell me I don't care about dying children. If you want to know why children and women are dying on the border, look in the mirror, because you have refused to close the loopholes that cause them. You offer enticements like free college education, free driver's license, and free health care. We'll get rid of ICE. We'll end ICE detention altogether. Why the hell do you think they're coming? You continue to entice these people to put themselves in harm's way. So if you want to know why this border's out of control, you want to know why women are being raped, you want to know why children are dying, you want to know why cartels are making millions, because you entice them every day with your promises, because you're hoping they get here long enough to become a Democratic voter. That's what it all comes down to. Why do you think they don't want this? Why do you think they don't want this citizenship question on the census? Why? Because they want them counted. Why? More seats in the House. What's that lead to? Electoral votes. What's that lead to? Power. It's all about solidifying their power. Let's just cut to the chase. Not a lot of people say it, but I'll say it. They're not going to be happy until you take down every Border Patrol station on the southern border and put a welcoming station and hand out Democratic voter registration cards. That's where they'll be happy.